Hello, beautiful souls. This is Vineeta Kumar, also known as twinflameunion, bringing you guys in this week's pep talk and empowerment. Twin flames and their money issues. If you have been a regular follower, you know that I have covered extensively on this topic, time after time. In fact, even last year, I was called and approached by Harper, who is a talk show host for Voice America. I was actually a guest in her show, on the radio show, and I covered that very extensively even in that segment. I'm going to link all whatever I'm talking about, all the articles, all the videos that are on YouTube in the description box, so that if you're a new viewer, if you haven't seen my work, you can get more insights on those. And I know that many of you, in fact, maybe most of you, are thinking about 2022. This is the beginning of the year. Many of you are thinking how you want to accomplish certain goals, desires, aspirations. And with everything else in life, it also makes sense if majority of those revolves around money. Because at the end of the day, we are living in an abundant universe, and the universe does want you to be abundant in all areas of your life. And that includes money, because money does provide a lot of that abundance in many, many ways, whether it's your health, whether it's housing, whether it's transportation, whether it's food to nourish your body, and much, much more. So we're going to dive deep into all these aspects, because a lot of people have this conditioning that if you are in a spiritual journey, you do not need money. And I'm going to tell you that in this segment, how this actually applies and how that is actually a very old way of thinking. As we are embarking into the new paradigm, money is very, very important. So we will go over all of this. I'm excited for this topic. It's something that is very close to my heart. I've done many healings around this area myself on my own journey, and I'm no different from you guys. And I will teach you guys what works and what doesn't work, and how to shift your consciousness around money. Before we dive deep into this, as usual, let's hit it. Welcome back. For those that are new to this channel, welcome. Please do not forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so that you do not miss any future videos. If you want to book any private sessions with me, you can do that as well. All that information is in the description box. It leads you into my website, where you can purchase and book directly from there. And you can go under the services tab and see what I have. I have so much stuff there: healing, reading, as well as some of the workshops that I have there. So take advantage of that. It is the beginning of the 2022 New Year's, and I'm pretty sure you want to amp your manifestation powers as well. Those that have tried my my scripting and vision boards and all that sort of thing. They've got massive results with it, and I will teach you how to do that. I also want to add that 10% of sales from twinflameunion also goes to charity. All that information is in my website as well. So if you're purchasing from me, you are also contributing to the world in some way. Having said that, this is an exciting topic, and it's a must see, a must watch for all of you that are drawn to this topic. You have to complete it, because complete the video, watch it a few times, because it's going to take a while for you to even to just comprehend what I'm trying to teach, or even just in general to absorb all this information, because I'm going to go over a lot of things. As usual, I said this before, I'm going to link all the other related videos that I have on this, as well as my guided meditation that people had great results on removing money blocks. It's something that I want to say all twin flames have, and it's not exclusive to anybody. And I will tell you how as we go into the video, because I know it's my job at the end of the day to explain it to you what I mean, and you understand it in a different way. So, as usual, for those that know me, you know that I have some notes here. They are all over the place, so forgive me. It's just that I'm going to try to breeze through this as best as I can. I wanted to actually give you guys lots of examples that I haven't mentioned previously in my articles or in my videos. Some of it I may actually repeat. I try not to repeat too many of my video content over and over again, which I know a lot of other YouTubers do. It's just something that I always have new things to talk about, so I try to keep it different from the other. So that's how I work. So and Spirit has been very, very good. I've always been lucky to find new things and new insights to give you guys. So we'll see what happens. So the first thing that I want to say is that we'll go into the programming part. And how this works is I'm gonna tell you some sentences, and I want you to think about completing them. And if automatically you are completing them, then right off the bat, that is the programming that you have been conditioned to, perhaps as early as childhood. It's the society that we live in. We constantly are being told that you do not need money to be happy, and you don't need you just need love. And I want to say, first off the bat, I've mentioned this many times, and I'm going to say it again, that money is a form of love, and that's why the color green comes there. You know that most notes are printed in green. Almost all currencies are, or they have a hint of green somewhere there. There's a reason for it, is because it's actually associated with your heart chakra. And if you know your chakra colors, you know that green is associated with your heart. So how is that not related to money? You tell me right off the bat. It's what you see. Some people like it broken down in this way to really understand or grasp how the world revolves around love. And it also revolves around money, because money is that currency that flows. It's in the current, in motion. So you can't hold on to money. You can't just keep it like this. You can't be in that four of pentacles zone that you see that person kind of holding on to that coins. So because it's meant to be used, it's meant to be in current, and that's why it's called currency. So yeah, I mentioned that more in depth in my article. So I just wanted to say, first off the bat, point that out, so that you do not have any misconceptions when it comes to money. Here are the sentences that I want to give you, and you finish it. And if you finish it, then you know where you are sitting it, where your consciousness is around money. Money is the root. Money doesn't buy. Money doesn't grow. If you finish those sentences, you know that that's a programming that you have. And like I said, I have done so much healing around this topic and this issue. I have seen past life karma that was created around money, where I killed people for money, and then some lives people were killing me for money. So it doesn't just stem from this lifetime. It's been going on since the beginning of time. So I mean, if you really look at it, even Judas was bought with 30 pieces of silver by handing off Jesus to the enemy. So it's been like that since eons. And if you look at some of the biblical or even some historical events that has happened, it's always been around gaining somebody's throne, gaining somebody's power, and money, power always go hand in hand, right? It's not any different. You see that dynamics even in today's world. You see that around your workplace, your business, and all those kind of matters, because money is there, right? Money and power kind of go hand in hand. So it's something that the world this is not new to the world. It's been there since the beginning of time, and that's just the way it is. There is no such thing as being abundant where you are just chanting some meditation underneath the tree and all your needs are met. There's no such thing. There's no such thing that you can actually feed yourself from just vegetables and fruit and all that sort of thing. You need to actually have some sort of grains. You need to have some sort of protein to fill you up and nourish you. So that's those were all great in stories, but in reality, you need to buy nutritious things, nutritious supplements, food, to just have a better health, overall health and well-being. So all of that costs money. If you're sick, you need to go to the hospital, and you need to take medications. You need to take all that sort of thing, and all that stuff revolves around money. Nothing is for free, right? And if your country is providing some free healthcare, it's still costing you money because you're still paying taxes, and there is no human on this earth that is not paying taxes to the government. That's just insane. I mean, you may not see it. Some people see it in their charges. They can see that what the government is charging when they are paying for taxes, but a lot of countries may have that as a hidden cost that you don't see, but it's there. It's not free. You are still paying the taxes to the government, and there's a reason for it. And so that the money is flowing so that they can provide you better roads, housing, facilities, and all sorts of things to continue living in an abundant universe or an abundant world. We do live in the world, and that's just the way it is. So if you want to look at it this way, when we are in 2022, even if all those expeditions that the governments, various government partake in trying to explore the universe, can you imagine how much billions and trillions of dollars have been used to go and explore the outer universe as well, right? The outer space, and all that stuff costs a lot of money. So it's not any different. Somehow I saw this very recently. I was so intrigued with this, where there was an asteroid in real life. You can actually look it up on NASA's website. You will see that there was an asteroid that was coming to Earth. It was close enough that they were not too happy about it. In reality, this was last month, maybe in December or end of November. So they wanted it to steer away from that asteroid, to just steer away from Earth, or any impact or anything like that. So they actually sent they knew this for a while. I don't know what the time limit was where they knew about it. But they ended up sending sort of like an aircraft, I guess, in a spaceship or whatever, or something to divert it so that it would hit the asteroid in some way, somewhere, so that it just kind of steers it away from Earth, and that did actually happen. So I was very intrigued with that article. So yeah, stuff like that happens, and how do they do all these things? Because they have the means, the technology to do stuff like that. They have the money backing it. So it's costs billions and trillions of dollars, like I said. So sometimes, money causes issues, but it also prevents issues. So take it whichever way you want. It is a constant flow of all of that, right? So what I wanted to talk about, now that I'm giving you a little bit of pep talk. Now, I want to say that there's many of you that are also thinking about what you want to do with Twin Flame mission, Twin Flame. If you are awakened to your journey, you know that you want to contribute in some way, and there's always ways that people currently are doing this, where they're actually going to the volunteer shelter homes, or they're volunteering somewhere somehow to make the community a little bit better than what it is. They're contributing to the temple, perhaps. You're giving donations. In my case, I'll use this as an example where I'm actually using 10% of my sales, that money. If I was crying for money where I didn't, where I couldn't afford to do this, I wouldn't be able to do it, is what I'm trying to say. So 10% of the sales that I get from twinflameunion, I actually donated to Red Cross. And I also donated to BCSPCA, which is, it looks after the wildlife, animals, and the local shelter. It's basically for animals, and it's in Canada. Every province has that in place. And because I live in British Columbia, so then I partnered up with them, and now I'm contributing there. So I do that every month, where I take the gross income that I have from the sales, and I contribute there. In fact, this was something that I really jumped on it. We had some really massive flooding in that was in November 2021, in Abbotsford, Chilliwack. We had massive rain, and it just caused massive flooding. Sumas River, one of the river, it just overflowed, and whatever they had in place in technology wise, it just wasn't enough to deal or cope with that kind of that kind of flooding. So and as you know, that many of you know that my twin flame lives in Abbotsford, so yes, the entire city was in water. And well, not entire city, but a good portion of the city, the farmland. People lost lots of money, and of course, insurance companies, they were looking at it as act of God, so they were not covering. So stuff like that, and it's going to take, from what I understand, it's going to take about 20-25 years to rebuild what damages this nature caused. So the government of Canada, as well as the government of British Columbia, decided to pair up, and what they did was they gave us a link to Red Cross, and they said, here you go, make the donations and we will match it. So if I put $1 down, BC government was going to put $1 down, and the federal government of Canada was going to put $1 down as well. So I looked at that, and I said, I have to make a donation anyways, why not do that as well with the local community? So I felt really good doing that. I jumped on it and I did that right away. So, and that was something that I felt really good doing. So, but again, if you don't have constant money flow, you won't be able to do stuff like that. There's so many books on this. Even Rhonda Bynes, who's the who's the author of Secret series, even she talks about that, and I've actually read all of her series now. And in one of her books, she was saying that people often wait until they get like lots of money and then they want to contribute to the society. Again, if you keep wanting to be in that state, what ends up happening is that you'll never get around to it, or it'll never happen. Even if you don't have lots of money, you can still, money is energy, and that's something that you just want to put down, write it somewhere where you're actually not going to forget. So when it comes to money, if you feel that, okay, when I have this income, or if I have this much money, then I'll contribute to the society or the world, or however way you want to do, that is probably an old way of thinking. For you to get out of that, you want to say, okay, I may not be able to contribute $10 to this cause, let me do $2 here. So, and this is all I have, this is what I can budget, let me just do at least $2 versus the $10. So kind of as a metaphor that I'm using here as an example, but you can definitely try it that way, and see how the money is flowing. And you'll find that the more you give, the more flow of money will start coming to you. It's just the way that it works. I don't know how to explain that. I've seen that now in my mission work, I want to say, and it has worked tremendously. There are some things that you do do for free. I do that too. I mean, these YouTube videos are free, my articles are free, but there comes a time when you actually also put a value to what you want to charge people, or what you want to give as your time, because your time is also money. So, which is what I was trying to tell you in this particular point that I'm making, and that is that for many of you that are thinking of doing some sort of mission work, try doing it this way. If you can't find that you have enough flow of money, then do a volunteer. Try it that way. Volunteer in temples. You can do volunteer in your local communities. Volunteer your time. Your time is also money. And I will actually go over the analogy on that a little later in the video, why I said that, why your time is money. I'll actually do a little scenario here, and you'll be baffled that how it actually how you can actually put it as that, that your time is money. So if you are providing free services or free volunteer work to the community, in whichever way, you are also serving your twin flame mission. I just want to point that out. And for those that are doing that, and feel amazingly very, very proud, pat your back, know that you are serving the world in a very big way. So yeah, and if people didn't do their share, then this world won't be as great as it is. And there's people there all around that actually contribute like that, right? So everything counts. It's not necessarily that you have to donate thousands of dollars that you do not have. You can start off like that, and gradually, when the money starts to flow, again, money is energy, it will flow, and then you can do more and more. And the more the more you have, the more you'll contribute. I mean, this is why people like Oprah Winfrey and Denzel Washington, or who else is there? Tom Cruise. I mean, these people, I'm just giving some examples here, right? Like they donate a lot to the, almost all movie stars will have some sort of Angelina Jolie, right? Any of these people, Brad Pitt, these guys, they all do some sort of community work because they can afford to do that. So they serve in a big way, and it's gratifying for them. So that's what I'm trying to say, that the more money you have, the more you will actually contribute to the society. So it's very, very important to do that. I know that many of you are thinking how to actually go about it. So go about it this way if it helps, right? I'm gonna say one thing for sure. I've said that in my other video, which I will link, and that is receipts. Make sure that you are respecting money. And in that video, I go over it in a very detailed way how to respect money. You shouldn't be tossing money here and there everywhere. It should be kept in a confined space, with respect, and throw a bay leaf in your wallet, right? Put a little, I have a bigger key here, but you can put a little key in your wallet, right? I have a key that's smaller version of this, about that small, and I put it in my coin slot. So this opens up many doors and many avenues of everything, right? So you can do that. Do not keep receipts in your wallet or in your purse. I learned that concept a long time ago, about a year and a half ago, and I stopped doing that immediately, because as soon as you you put money's energy, and you gotta treat it like that, right? So if you are putting receipts in your wallet or in your purse, what you're doing is you are telling somehow energetically that you've spent that money. It's that money that you've already spent. And what you want to do is you want to invite that money, right? You don't want to you've already spent the money, it's gone, right? Forget it. Put it in your pocket if you need to, and then at the end of the day, just come and empty it in your pocket. When I don't have anything in my, like outfit where I actually have a pocket, what I do is I just keep it in my hand, and then when I come inside the car, I just put it inside the car. And then I empty it out as soon as I come home. So it's just ways that you can do it. It's a little bit of thinking process around it, but yeah, I don't put money in, my receipts and stuff like that in my wallet, because that's wallet or purse doesn't go there. If you have a plastic bag, or if you have a bag, just throw it in there. It's still, not in your purse or your wallet. You don't have to buy designer wallets or purses, and this is not gender specific, because men carry wallets too. You should always have something that is not torn. You should have something that is in good shape. And you can go to a thrifty store if you can't afford it, and just buy something that's in good condition, whatever that is to you. I also want to say that you can have a lot of people like red, especially in feng shui. Red wallet is for male gender, maybe not so much. You cannot have red. Like a wallet, it's gonna look really weird. So try to get a red paper and just put a dollar symbol on it, and just throw it in your wallet. So like a little piece of paper about that big, right? Like, and just put some dollar symbols on it and put that in your wallet. It will still provide the same kind of energy. So I do that as well. I usually, my everyday wallet and purse is always black. I have other colors too, but I find that I never change my purses around as much. I just don't have the time, even though I have a collection of different colors to just match the outfit, or whatever. So, but yeah, I do put a little red piece of paper in there, so you can use your favorite symbols if you have, and draw it and just put it there. Nobody will know that you have it. Bay leaf as well. Bay leaf is really good for manifesting anything. And if you want to, there's tons of videos out there that you can Google on YouTube, and just know how you can manifest with bay leaf. I use bay leaf all the time for everything. So yeah, you can throw a bay leaf in there as well. You can write some sort of affirmation on the bay leaf, do it with a good marker, and you just throw it in your wallet, and nobody will know it's there. So there's ways like that you can amp it. So yeah, check out my other videos. It will tell you all these kind of things, but I just wanted to say that this is some of the things that I talk about in other videos, so you want to check that out. Lots of tips there. So yeah, I want to say that for many of you that are wanting to do something, the key thing, first of most, is that, especially if you are trying to do this as a twin flame mission where you want to make some money other than what you are doing already, you want to do some sort of service, you want to always keep in mind that where the money is when you provide some sort of service that is in demand. That's the key point. Look at it this way: if you have jobs, then look at it this way: it's a job that's in demand, and that's why your employer hired you, right? If your job is not in demand, then the employer would have laid you off or would have let you go, and you wouldn't have that job. So it's the whole world revolves around this particular sentence, and that is that money is where you can put down some sort of value in the service that it provides. And same concept will go when you actually want to do your mission work. You have to figure out how you can be unique. I mean, there's going to be 10 people. If you want to be a YouTuber that wants to be a tarot card reader, every twin flame knows how to do some sort of tarot work, right? So you have to sit back and really figure out how you can provide your mission work or do your mission work that's going to be different from everybody else's. I'm going to use my example. There are many twin flame teachers, there are many healers, there are many readers. So I had to actually figure out what I wanted to do, how I was going to serve in a different way than whatever else is out there. And I had to think about it. Not only that, and that's my next topic that I want to say, or next point to this in addition, is that many of you want to serve your mission. You want to do a lot of things that is for the community. First of all, if you're not ready, you have to prepare yourself to get there, to get ready, because otherwise, if you're not, you're going to burn out really, really fast. And I've seen this time after time. I've talked about this in other videos as well. I've seen this time after time where people cannot handle the journey plus the mission work together, because it's very, very intense. And I'm gonna give you some tips on this, how to do that. If I did this 4 years ago or 3 years ago even, in the beginning stages of it, where I went on YouTube, or when I went, when I actually opened the website, articles and everything, prematurely, I wouldn't be where I am now, teaching in the level that I am, because it took me that long to heal some of the things that I was healing, to work on my spiritual journey, to evolve from that person that I was 4 years ago to where I am now, where I can actually sit down and provide something valuable to the community. If that makes sense to you guys, because I knew that I needed to put in a lot of work, apply some of the things that I was learning at that time in my own journey, and see if it actually worked before I could actually teach it to others. And I have seen this time after time where many people, they do this prematurely and they're not healed enough, and then that's when the triggers happened, and much more happened. And I can't emphasize that you cannot do your mission work, especially serving the community, for twin flames or soulmates, or in a spiritual way, if you are wounded, right? You have to heal your wounds before you can actually get there. And that takes a lot of work, a lot of preparation. You have to prepare yourself. A lot of people also try to take lots of courses and lots of healing modalities and this and that. But during that time, if you haven't healed enough, then that's going to catch up to you as well, because you will deal with one client and they will throw you off completely, where you will be done. You would be out of energy, and you will not have the energy to keep going. You will be recovering from that for weeks. And I've seen this again, like I said, time after time. You don't want to fall into that trap. because it is healing somebody or teaching something it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of energy, and even doing readings, because you're channeling all that information, so you can't burn yourself out. You have to be careful that you have enough energy to kind of keep going. And if you do all that sort of thing prematurely, where you're not ready, it's gonna come back where you'll deal with one client and you're burnt out, and then you're recovering for a few weeks. When you actually own a business, when you're actually doing this, there is no such thing as doing that, because people are banking on getting the services in a timely manner and in a way that it is worth their money. So you have to make sure that you can keep up with all these highs and lows as well. I also want to add that if you are thinking of doing your mission work in some way, where you want to provide some sort of service, or you want to do something for the community, for the twin flames, or for the soulmate community that's here, the spiritual community, absolutely, that's your calling, you'll know within. But sure, you need to know your worth, right? You need to know that how much is your time worth to you. And I say this time and time after. I'll use my example again here. It'll give you an idea to just think about it very deeply. I spend a lot of time, my own time, free time, to provide you guys new videos, new articles, new this, new that, my daily posts in my social media accounts, all that sort of thing. I do it. But there's people that will always want more and more. And you'll find that in the community, where people will want more. They want more of your time, more of your energy. You have to put a cap to what you give out for free and what you don't. What I mean by that is that you want to value your time as well. You can't be just always giving, and the more you give, the more people will take. Is because that's what they expect out of you. It's just human nature, and a lot of it is they're conditioning themselves and their own blocks around money. So I want to say that you can put your foot down and say, no, this is where I'm going to put a cap to it. People message me all the time telling me about their twin flame stories and their twin flame dynamics and all that after they've read my article, and it's just human nature. They get drawn to my energy, and I appreciate that, but I always say a couple of sentences that I do not engage in that sort of one-on-one conversation. I simply just don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I need my energy to serve their collectives in a massive way, in a mass value. So when I do these kind of things in a generic way, it reaches more people versus the one-on-one. It takes time. So I always say pay for a paid session. And there's a reason for it, and that is that they should value my time, my effort, like I do. When I need somebody to help me in something, I pay for their time because I understand the value of money. I know that they don't have time either. So when I pay for something, they deliver it, and it just goes for that, right? It goes with that saying. So I want to say that that's where people will value more, when you actually are putting a dollar value to something. I have something that I wanted to read from Think and Grow Rich. If you guys haven't read this, you should. I actually highlighted the sentence that I wanted to read out to you guys, so I'm going to actually do that. And that is, I marked it because I thought this was amazing. That it's this is such an old book. It's one of the early self-help books that came out in the time that it did, and it's of course made many million years, and it's continuing to do that because the teachings actually still is here, right? in here it said, and this is page 100, so if you guys have it, you can have a look at it. It's it's the this section is on specialized knowledge, and it's on page 100 in this book anyways. One of the strange things about human beings is that they value only that which has a price, and it's written here. So I thought that was just an amazing point, and I highlighted that because when I thought about that, that is so true. I have tried free things in my own journey, and it only took me so far, and then after that I had to pay for it in order to reach above and receive more in value, whether it was healing, whether it was reading, whether it was this or that. I had to do that in order for me to gain the value of it, of that particular service, right? So it can only do so much. I swear by that myself. I'm so usually busy in my day-to-day life that I don't have time to read. I wish I did. I actually threw this again in my 2022 vision board, where I actually have a picture of a girl reading with a cup of tea. So it's something that I have to manifest because I don't have the time. And what I do is I listen to the audio book, and when I like the audio book, I end up purchasing the actual book as well. So I've done that with Louise Hay. I absolutely love her. You may want to check her out. Louise Hay has a YouTube channel as well as many books. Another favorite of mine is Marissa Peer. I really like her. You may want to check her work out as well. And she's got some really good guided meditations. And actually, I'm planning to buy a few of those guided meditations, and maybe even her book, because I do like how she teaches. So it's one of my to do things for this year. It's I'm built into my healing, my own healing that I want to do. So, which brings me to a little more topic here, where the leaders, teachers, gurus that you follow, I'm drawn like that. So I'm hoping that you guys are too. You need to know how much they have invested in their twin flame journey and in their healing, because there's so many of them that are out there, and you can tell by listening to them, by watching them, by looking at their energy, just how much they have actually healed and invested in their own twin flame journey or on their own spiritual journey. You don't become amazingly enlightened overnight. There is no such thing. I mean, that used to be just maybe Buddha in the latest timeline of older ascended masters that came. That after that, I don't think that many people could be like him, where overnight you would gain so much insight. But again, even he put in a lot of work. If you ever actually follow his life path, he was a prince in India that had everything. He had to leave everything behind in order to search for that enlightenment that he was looking for. So he did put a lot of work as well. But again, I'm just using it as a metaphor here that leaders, teachers, gurus, they should have put that kind of work in their own journey in order for them to be able to explain it to you in the way that it is explained to you. So, and you'll know that by just listening to them, their word of wisdom, their insight, their consciousness, right? So it's a little tip. And I know, don't look at how much subscribers they have, how much YouTube content they have. You need to understand that aspect, just how much they have put in their own healing in order to get where they are to be able to teach. Because it's easy to open a YouTube channel, sit on it, make some videos, and a few years later you have 100,000 viewers, right? Or subscribers. It's not that hard to do that, but where it counts is just about how much work they have put into their journey. And you'll see that really apparently. It's very, very apparent, and I can tell off the bat who has, and those are the ones that I actually follow. I just I just know. So I also follow Master Sri Akarshna. I follow Bob Proctor. I follow Clark Clark Cleanly. I think that's his name as well. So yeah, I follow quite a few. That Robert Zink. Absolutely love him. Just those are the ones that I follow to currently that I find is taking me to where I need to go into my next spiritual journey, or my soul's journey. So you want to do that, where you want to make sure that you are investing in your journey, and investing means that you have to pay for stuff. Nothing comes free, and after a while you will realize that it's gonna be that, because your soul, it's a soul's journey. You have to constantly grow, and it's the same thing as if you were to go to schooling, right? In order to gain more schooling, you need to now invest in your education, right? So yeah, after a while, you can learn for free, right? I mean, people are always learning every day, but if you want actually a degree in your hand, you have to actually pay for it. It's the same thing. I'm taking my shamanic practitioner program, and at the end of in my term, I will actually have a certification with it. So, and then to go to level 3, there's going to be another certification, and you pay for it. It's not free. I mean, she doesn't. People don't like you enough to give you for free. They'll give some things for free, but not it. Only free things only go so far, and I wanna say, for those movers and shakers that want to make a difference to the world through your spiritual mission and through your through your soul calling, I want to say that put a price to your time, because you do not want to give everything for free. And if you find that that's something that you are doing currently, it's because it's a block of money issues are there. I speak from my own experiences. I know that in the beginning I was like that too, where I was afraid to charge people for money in the spiritual community, because I was just starting out and I was not comfortable asking for money. And it took me a lot of healing, a lot of work to really value me, where I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this for free. I'm not doing that for free. And I did that. So I put a value to my time, because I love myself enough to want to create that value in my own time. Because if I am free in today's time, I'm using that time to have fun in my life with friends and family, or just have a relaxing time at home, catching my favorite shows, or reading a book, or doing something exciting, and yeah, you have every right to want to live your life. So, and that's something that is your God-given birthright. So one thing that I want to say, and he's always been one of my favorite mentors, Bob Proctor. I really like his way of analogy, and this is my next pep talk to you guys, because you will be guilty of doing this many times, all of you. Nobody is going to tell me that they didn't do this. And the way that he taught it really woke me up, and that was how you can value time. How many times in your life have you come across somebody that's saying to you, oh, can I have a minute of your time? Can I have a minute of your time, right? On this or that. And you'll laugh, because you know that this is true. Then you'll say, okay, sure, I have a minute. How many times has it only been a minute and that's it? It's never that, because one minute becomes 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, half an hour, let's say. It was just never that 1 minute. If it was that 1 minute, I get it. And this is why I find that And I didn't realize that I was actually doing that subconsciously until he actually put it out and I listened to him. Because this is why I don't exchange personal conversations with twin flames, because they will say, oh, can I ask you for a question? And a question becomes another question, then another question, another question. Before you know it, it's already a 2-hour session that they would have paid for initially. So I'm just saying that that's what it is. And you will laugh because you know that you've been, it has happened to you as well. Right? So these kind of things, unfortunately, is just human nature. And that's how it's, oh, you've done this to other people. So I'm just saying that that's something be on a lookout for. And the way that he broke it down, let me see if I can explain it to you guys, because I listened to it. I didn't write notes. I should have. I have to go back to the video. I have to find where it is because I've watched so many of his videos. So I didn't even save that video to go back to. It's another thing. But how he explained it is that he said, people will ask you for a minute of people will ask you for a minute of your time, and a minute becomes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour. Now what you can do is, however amount of hourly wage you make or salary wage you make, you do a little bit of math work here and figure out what that half an hour or 2 hours cost would be on an average. Let's just say half an hour, because sometimes a minute becomes, let's just say half an hour. If it's few hours, then you know that you're really going on a loss. Right? Then you want to abort. Mission aborted. You don't want to be engaging longer than that, right? But try to do it for 30 minutes, argument's sake, and that's an average span where somebody's asked you for a minute of your time. And it's the beginning of the year, so make a note of it, how many times you're being asked. And then at the end of the year, you calculate that half an hour hourly wage. Let's say you get paid $20 an hour, so half an hour is $10. So that $10, just imagine what that would look like at the end of the year, and that's how much of a loss of your own time you have had. And if you multiply it like that and you actually add it up, where you you spend hours and hours of your own time, yeah, that's how much money you have actually lost out on. And for people like Bob Proctor that makes money millions, you can imagine, when he threw it like that, he was like, no way, Jose, I'm not doing this. I'm not giving you a minute. You want that minute, you pay for it. So, and that's, that was the best analogy that, I learned just recently. And it's something that you can apply, I want to say. Try it and see how this little tip will help you guys, because you will know that your friends, family, everybody's asking you for that minute of time, and you really, when you look at it this way, break it down, you notice that you are actually giving them more than just that minute. So another thing I want to point out is people owing you money, and that's part of the money block, because it's a little sensitive issue, because I don't know how many times you all have been victims of people owing you money, whether it's $2, 50 cents, thousands of dollars, who cares? Money doesn't know amount. Money knows only energy. And it's the emotions that are tied with that energy. That is what is kicking you, right? And it's throwing money blocks around it. So I have this guided meditation that will assist you all in removing those kind of money blocks, where in your journey people have cheated you in some way or form of money. It could be something that you paid for and wasn't in the value that you you paid for. You were swindled, basically, right? So if you have had that where you didn't get the value of what you paid, then yeah, for sure you want to remove that energetic block around that, and you do that from every. It's like day-to-day living, right? You're buying a product that promised you that you will get this, and it didn't. By the time you factor in your shipping cost and try to send it back to the sender, you're actually losing more money than you started off with, because your shipping is insane amount of money. I'm just saying, stuff like that happens all the time, and because there's so much energy around that, emotions are tied to it, then that's when you actually feel it, because that's that energy that is tied to that. So and that people owing you money could be in any form. It could be insurance companies that are owing you money because you got injured somewhere in your life, and you're collecting this money. It could be that, or it could be natural disaster that happened. A tree fell over your roof and you're trying to now get insurance to cover it, right? Or your dental treatments, or your eye treatments, or your medical treatments, any of that stuff, because all that stuff is all revolving around money, and people are owing you stuff, and then now you're collecting it, and it's taking time, and you're getting now really antsy because it's taking forever. So that all that emotion is also tied to that, right? It could be government that's owing you money because you filed your taxes and you still haven't received that money, right? So it could be stuff like that. It could be employer. This is huge, where you've worked, you put in your time, and you put in your time in a timely manner, and then now it's payday, and then you're seeing an error in your paycheck. And now you're angry because you're telling them that how is it that you have an error in your paycheck? And you should all be checking that anyways. You should know on payday whether you're getting correct money or not. Do not take it as face value that whatever you're getting through your employers as a paycheck is actually correct. You should be actually analyzing all of that and making sure, because it's part of your own self-love around that, where you are technically trying to get your money that is being owed to you. So and then this one, friends and family, same thing. You want to try to get that money back, right, some way. If you're especially if you're still in contact with them. Sometimes you'll have to write your losses because it's lost cause. You know which ones those are too, and you need to just kind of release that and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to release you from this bondage, and I'm not going to get that money from you, but I'm going to say to the universe that I'm open to receive abundance, and I'm open to receive. You can put your hand out like this and say, and look up in the sky and say, I'm open. Give me money, right? Give me what is being owed to me. Yes, person X decided to owe me $1,000. I know that that's a write-off. I release that person. I'm going to forgive that person, but please, universe, allow that money to come to me through another means, right? And money will come to you, and if you are in the right frequency asking this, that money will come from somewhere. So yeah, you can kind of do it that way too. See how that works. Write some affirmations. There's lots of money affirmations on in the internet. Louise Hay has lots of affirmations regarding money. I filled up all her affirmations on my vision board. I love her. Like I said, I absolutely love her. So I decided to do that. She's got so many good ones. So I used hers to apply. You can put lots of affirmations wherever you can see, on your mirrors and on your phone. You also want to make sure that your phone screensaver has something nice. You can have a picture of a clover as a screensaver on your phone. How many times do we look at our phone in today's time? throughout the day. Some people say about 400-500 times. I don't know if I've never counted. I say it's a lot. I don't know if it's that much. But, I always have something nice as a screensaver on my phone. It's just because, it's something that I'm always looking at. So I want to look at something that's quite nice, So I always have something that has some sort of meaning to me. I just don't have, just normal screensaver. I have something that I download and I put it in. So you want to maybe do that. You can put a picture of a symbol that you are attracted to, or you can even use. I even had for longest time a screensaver that had a key, like the skeleton's key. This is called, right? So you can have. Here we go. This is how it looks. So you can Google skeleton's key, and then you can just kind of see what's there. I've had pictures of a lotus. If you guys like lotus, right? Some spirit animal that you like. I've had Black Panther as my screensaver, right? I've put a picture of my cat, so I've done stuff like that, right? Clover, whatever I'm in the mood of, and there's no wrong or right reasons for it. You just do what you feel like. It's something that you are drawn to or you like, right? So yeah, you should be putting stuff like that in your screensaver as well. Let me just look through and just see. It is the end of my little pep talk to you guys, and like I said, I will throw the other videos and articles in the description box. So have a look at those, because they also go into other areas where you can manifest money and all those kind of fun things. And why not? You are meant to have an abundant life, and if you've had all these preconditioning, money is the root, money doesn't buy, and money doesn't grow, right? Then you know that that's a conditioning that you have, so you have to try to remove it, because it's all in a subconscious level. You want to also do past life work, healing around money issues, and that's actually something that I'm channeling now. In 2022, I will have a healing where I will actually create a healing, a different type of healing than my usual that I have on my website, and it's going to be regarding money blocks. So because I've done now so many different areas of money block healing with healers, I'm just trying to still channel that information. So for those that are my regular clients, if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, yes, yay, because yeah, you guys are repeats, and I appreciate you guys. I love you too. I'm gonna create something, and it's going to be targeting specifically on the money issues. So it's going to be a little bit of past life, a little bit of programming, and that my sessions are pretty intense and very in-depth. So it's going to be a little bit of everything that I will throw. I'm just trying to still figure out what it is. And that's why I don't want to just offer it for the sake of it, because I want you guys to get the value of your money. So having said that, this was my little pep talk on some of the money issues that you guys probably encounter. I want to say that if you love yourself enough, you will invest in yourself. And there is nothing wrong with investing. If there's nothing wrong with wanting to invest in your looks, invest in your health, invest in your home, invest in your vehicle. Even though I drive, I love my vehicle. I always say this to my vehicle too, that I love it, and I'm in love with my vehicle, but I still have a vehicle that I want to upgrade to. So, and I went into my life vision board, and it's weird because when it initially came out, it was very, very black, and it was a BMW X6. It was like the blackest black, and I really was drawn to it. But I learned that it was a real vehicle, but they decided to not put it out there on the road because it was too black, and the government wasn't, or in any country wouldn't have allowed it. They just did that for fun. It was a project that the creator did, just to see how it looked. It looked amazing. But they did bring out the new, and then I went to my dealership and they were saying, "Oh yeah, that one. I don't know if they will make it that black, and because I was asking when it's gonna come out, It's not going to come out that black, but what they did is the newer ones do look very, very black, amazingly black. It's blacker than my black because I have a black one too, and it's a different kind of shade of black, so it just catches my attention. And so a little tip for you guys as well. So if you have stuff like that you want to manifest, and anything on a material plane, you have a house that you want to buy, or a condo, or a townhome, or a nice apartment that you want to move into, or a car or a vehicle that you are looking, or even a dress, or an outfit, a suit, like a male suit, or this nice watch that you're looking, that you have your eyes on. If you see stuff like this, that you have an intention and you see it into the universe, where you actually see it. In my case, I see it now, on the road. It started to show up on the road last year, and I had seen this black as black, I think, a couple of years prior to that. So yeah, it came into motion where I started seeing it. And I of course, I don't want to take pictures of whatever's on the road because people think I'm weird taking people's pictures of their vehicle or whatever, so I don't. But I want to say that it's here. I've seen it now, and it's just a matter of time when I will actually drive it off the lot. So yeah, I'm excited. And the more that I started seeing it on the road, I always be in that gratitude mode. I always said thank the universe, the stars, that thank you. It is coming. I know it's coming, and I always say it like that. And yeah, you can manifest that way anything that you want. And if you see stuff like this, just know that it's coming, and it's there. It's not too far away, and yeah, you are meant, and you shouldn't be ashamed of wanting anything that has a value to it, because that's just the law of life. Everything that has a value to it, you will want, and you deserve it because you love yourself enough that you will manifest it. So with that, this was Twin Flame Union. I hope that you guys like this segment, and wishing you all the best for 2022 with all the abundance that you are looking to have.